Beneath the solid granite of Cheyenne Mountain Complex, hidden far away from the noise of everyday life, lies one of the most secure and mysterious bunkers ever built by humanity. From the outside, it looks like just another mountain, silent, unmoving, ancient. But deep inside, carved into its core, exists a world designed not for living, but for surviving the end of the world. The story of this underground fortress begins during one of the most tense periods in human history, the Cold War. At a time when the threat of nuclear war loomed over every nation, the United States needed a place that could withstand the unthinkable. A place where leaders, military personnel, and critical systems could continue to function even if the surface above was reduced to ashes. That place became Cheyenne Mountain. Construction began in the 1960s, and what engineers built was nothing short of extraordinary. Instead of simply digging into the mountain, they hollowed out massive chambers, leaving thick granite walls some over 2,000 feet of solid rock acting as a natural shield. Inside, they constructed a series of buildings, not directly attached to the mountain walls, but mounted on giant springs. These springs were designed to absorb the shock waves of a nuclear blast, allowing the structures inside to remain stable, even if the ground around them shook violently. To enter this hidden world, one must pass through enormous blast doors, each weighing over 20 tons. These doors were built to survive nuclear explosions, sealing the bunker completely from the outside environment. Once closed, nothing gets in, and nothing gets out. Inside, the atmosphere feels almost unreal. Long corridors stretch into the darkness, lined with pipes, cables, and dim lighting. The air is carefully filtered, ensuring that even radioactive particles cannot enter. There are control rooms filled with screens and blinking lights, constantly monitoring the skies above. Every second, data flows in tracking missiles, satellites, and anything that could pose a threat. This bunker became the heart of North America's defense system. For decades, it was home to the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD. From here, military personnel watched over the continent, ready to respond to any incoming attack. In a world where minutes could mean the difference between survival and destruction, Cheyenne Mountain stood as a silent guardian. But beyond the technology and machinery, there is a human story hidden within these walls. Imagine living here, cut off from the outside world, knowing that above you, chaos might be unfolding. The bunker was designed to support hundreds of people for extended periods. It had its own water supply, food storage, power systems, even medical facilities. In many ways, it was a self-contained underground city. Yet, life inside was far from comfortable. The constant hum of machines, the artificial lighting, the lack of natural air, it created an environment that felt disconnected from reality. Time seemed to blur. Days and nights lost their meaning. For those stationed here, the outside world became a distant memory. And then there was the unspoken truth that everyone understood. If this bunker was ever fully activated, it would mean that the worst had already happened. It was not a place you wanted to be in use. It was a last resort, a final line of defense in a world pushed to the edge. Over the years, as global tensions shifted and technology advanced, the role of Cheyenne Mountain evolved. Some operations were moved to other locations, and the bunker became less active than it once was. But it was never abandoned. Even today, it remains on standby, ready to be reactivated at a moment's notice. Because the truth is, the need for such a place has never truly disappeared. The threats may have changed, the enemies may look different, but the idea of survival, of preparing for the unimaginable, still drives nations to build these hidden fortresses. Standing above the mountain today, you would never know what lies beneath your feet. There are no signs, no sounds, no visible clues. Just rock, sky, and silence. But deep below, behind layers of granite and steel, the bunker waits quiet, patient, and prepared. It is a reminder of a time when fear shaped the world, and of a future that remains uncertain. Because somewhere, inside that mountain, systems still exist that can track a missile from the moment it leaves the ground. Somewhere, behind those heavy doors, there are rooms that can come alive within minutes. And somewhere, buried deep in the darkness, is a place built for the day humanity hopes will never come. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex is not just a bunker. It is a symbol of fear, of power, and of the lengths humanity will go to protect itself. But it also raises a question, one that echoes through its silent corridors. If the world above were to fall, would surviving underground truly mean we have survived at all?